Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News starts now.
California voters are just days away from heading to the polls. What local voters need to know before voting on Measure B.
And it was a big day for Joe Biden yesterday. More on the South Carolina primary coming up in just a bit.
Good morning and thanks for joining us here at 23 ABC News on your Sunday morning. We are glad to have you with us. Mother Nature has a lot in store for you, as always.
Yes, things are going to shake up just a little bit from yesterday. I know it felt like summer, but today's going to feel a little bit like winter as those clouds take over. We're taking a live look outside right now. Again, those clouds sticking around, but right now we're at 49 degrees and we won't be warming up too much as we head into today. But one thing that is going to change is those wind speeds. But today you can expect cooler temperatures and cloudy skies, as you guys just saw outside. We do have a wind advisory in effect that won't expire until tomorrow, and there is a chance for rain, hail, and snow and possible thunderstorms. Now there also is like I said, there is a possibility of some dusting snow in those mountain areas, and there is a winter weather advisory, and possible travel could be impacted on the 5. Again, this storm system that is moving in is going to drop temperatures and cool things down significantly, Tori, and we could see some thunderstorms throughout the day.
Thunderstorms.
I know.
Wow.
A big change from yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday was beautiful, and now we're talking thunderstorms. All right, well, Mother Nature always has a twist. But the race for the White House is now shifting to Super Tuesday. That's after former Vice President Joe Biden scored a victory in South Carolina. And 23 ABC's Austin Westfall is in studio with a look at yesterday's South Carolina primary.
Yesterday's vote was the last primary before Super Tuesday. Some say Joe Biden's campaign has been deflating as of late, but last night gave him a much-needed boost.
Thank you, South Carolina!
There is wind in the sails of the Joe Biden campaign this morning. He's long touted South Carolina as his firewall state, and last night he proved it with a decisive victory due in large part to overwhelming support coming from black voters. Biden speaking to a crowd in South Carolina shortly after the news of his victory.
For all of those who've been knocked down, counted out, left behind, this is your campaign.
Biden now with momentum of the likes he hasn't seen since Senator Bernie Sanders took a commanding lead in most national polls around the time of the Iowa caucuses. Sanders, like many other Democratic candidates, has already shifted his efforts to Super Tuesday states. He finished second in South Carolina.
And that will not be the only defeat. There are a lot of states in this country. Nobody wins them all. I want to congratulate Joe Biden on his victory tonight. Billionaire businessman Tom Steyer, who finished third in South Carolina, announcing he's dropping out of the race. He spent nearly $24 million on advertising in South Carolina alone, according to ABC News.
I said if I didn't see a path to winning, that I'd suspend my campaign. And honestly, I can't see a path where I can win the presidency.
Now the rest of the Democratic Party looks towards Super Tuesday. By the time we get to Tuesday evening, 40% of the delegates in the race will have been awarded. Right now, Biden and Sanders are at the top of the current delegate rankings, but Sanders is leading in some key Super Tuesday states, including California and Texas.
Now, Super Tuesday is coming up this Tuesday, March 3rd. And moving on to local election news, we in Kern County will be voting on more than just presidential hopefuls next week. There's a slew of measures that will impact specific communities in Kern, including Measure B, which aims to improve some schools in the McFarland Unified School District. The principal of McFarland High School telling me his campus is in desperate need of a new multipurpose room.
We already have teachers that really strive to provide the best education we can for our community, but at the same time, how can you do that when you don't have the facilities to meet that need?
McFarland High School's multipurpose room, which was being used for a small assembly yesterday, is also used as the campus's main cafeteria. But the problem with that is it can only sit about 140 students at a time during lunch, a fraction of the school's nearly 1,000-member student body.
When we start the school year out, it's 110, 115 degrees. Students are spread out throughout the campus, and they don't have anywhere really for shade.
Principal Justin Derrick saying it's also problematic when it rains. That's part of why the McFarland Unified School District is asking for $30 million in bonds in the upcoming election, known as Measure B. $16 million of that money would be used to build the new multipurpose room, which has dining for 1,000 students and can also be used for assemblies. But that's only part of the bond money. Some would also go to Browning Road STEAM Academy, an elementary school.
What we're asking for through Measure B is an opportunity to not just do some patchwork at our school, but to completely renovate so they can have 21st century facilities.
That to match the Academy's 21st century programs, including their Maker's Space Lab with VR technology and Fabrication Lab with 3D printing, which at the time of our visit was constructing a prosthetic arm for a child in Porterville. Principal Diaz saying his school needs to structurally improve their facilities, one of which has been completely condemned due to safety concerns. They also need to completely redo their roofing, something they have in common with Kern Avenue Elementary School, where stain spots were visible on the library's ceiling.
It would mean just a much safer and inviting environment for all our students.
Principal Buhanda Medina saying her school would also repair some of their cement walkways and plumbing. Of course, along with any new bond measure comes concern from some that their taxpayer dollars could be misused. The McFarland Unified School District superintendent saying they can only spend money on the projects at the 3 schools.
None of these dollars can be used for salaries or any other projects.
Now, the $30 million bond would cost property owners $51 per $100,000 of assessed value per year. 55% of voters will have to vote yes in order for it to pass on Tuesday. For now, in the studio, Austin Westfall, 23 ABC, connecting you.
And 23 ABC wants to help you make sure you can make an informed decision on Super Tuesday. Again, just 2 days from now, California voters will head to the polls to cast their vote. We have information on local measures, national and local candidates, along with propositions, all on our website, turnto23.com. Make sure you head to our website for more information.
And we also have some traffic alerts for you as well that could affect your commute this week. Vehicle detection loops are set to be installed at intersections along 23rd Street starting today until Thursday. Now, this will cause alternating single lane closures during nighttime hours next week. The road closures will also affect the intersections between D and M Street. The closures are expected to happen between 7 p.m. and 5 a.m. Now, at least one lane is expected to be open during those times. And there will also be some nighttime closures on Ming Avenue next week. The Terrace operational improvement projects will be closing the Ming Avenue on-ramp to northbound State Route 99. The project begins this Tuesday and ends Thursday from 9 p.m. until 5 a.m. Drivers going north on the 99 can get on the freeway from Weibel Road.
Legendary rock band Kiss is making a stop right here in Bakersfield tomorrow night as part of their final tour ever. The band is performing at Mechanics Bank Arena tomorrow night at 7:30 as part of their End of the Road World Tour. The group will be joined by former Van Halen frontman David Lee Roth during the show. If you haven't purchased your tickets, don't worry, they are still available with seats ranging from $30. We have a link to purchase tickets all on our website, turnto23.com. And here's another concert for you to put on your calendar. The Bakersfield Symphony Orchestra will be performing next Saturday at Mechanics Bank Theater. The concert will showcase the sounds of South America and feature renowned guest harpist Alfredo Ortiz. The orchestra will also be using the day to help almost 200 students from Wasco and McFarland learn about the arts through the Youth Engagement Program. The concert starts at 7:30. And you can get tickets to the concert online at bsonow.org.